Scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with another layout in my California Love 6x8 album, and today I'm going to be using a sketch from Coco Daisy. I do believe that this is a sketch from the Poppy Fields collection, but I'm going to be using it with the My Escape collection, and I'm going to be using it in a 6x8 album rather than a traveler's notebook, but it adapts just fine, no big deal. So I am going with the map paper on the right hand side or the left hand side because I'm using a white piece of cardstock on the left hand side, and you know I love my pattern, and I tried a white piece of cardstock on the left hand side as well, but it was just too boring for me. So I'm going to use the map paper, and I think it's really kind of an interesting look, all of this color over a busy piece of paper like that. I kind of really like it, so it works out well. So you can see on the left-hand side of the sketch there that what it needs on top of the pattern, the only other thing on the sketch is a quote card. And I'm going to use a vertical quote, and I need to back it with something because these quote stickers are see-through. So I'm going to use some white paper from the dismantled Coco Daisy Dory that I took apart to get all of these fun color paper strips out of. Since I'm using the collection for a 6x8 album rather than a traveler's notebook, and actually almost every month I dismantle the traveler's notebook inserts that come with the collection because I like using all of the patterned papers in my regular scrapbooking. So I've created a double mat for this quote card. And I thought this, because every picture tells a story, works out well. I'm the type of person that goes on vacation and then drags my poor abused sister out on runs with me while I'm there. I really wanted to make sure that I didn't drop my fitness while I was eating and drinking my way through California. Oh my God, you guys, I've never eaten so much in my life. I think all we did was eat, drink, and make my sister go out for a run every other day. But it was a beautiful vacation, but I didn't want to drop my fitness, so I did work out consistently every day. So the first day, not the first day we were there, but the first morning we were there, my sister and I went out on a run because we're always talking about how much we would love being able to run together, but since we are across the country from each other, we cannot, so we decided to make a point to do it. So I have these two photos. One is a selfie before we started, and then one is while we are running, and I thought that they would be perfect with this sketch that required two photos. So I am matting them both, even though that is not part of the sketch, and I'm actually going to diverge from the sketch a little bit here. The basic outlines, the basic bones of it stay the same, but I am going to embellish way more than the sketch dictates, because first of all, because you know I cannot leave a spread unembellished. It's just, that is not the way that I go. But also because I'm using a traveler's notebook sketch on a 6x8 spread, I actually have an extra like 2 inches of width on the spread that isn't accounted for in the sketch. So I had a lot of that random white space that was just like, there we go, that's the whole sketch. So if I left it like that, it would have been pretty boring. So now I'm going to diverge. I'm going to use this map rub-on in this corner here to sort of bring the map across the page, as well as just extend the width of the cluster so that it doesn't quite just sit in the middle. So I'm going to put the majority of it over here, and then I'm going to take the bits and pieces that are left over, and I'm going to add to the bottom photo as well. So you can see I'm kind of rough when I take this off so that there's a lot of little bits and pieces. I actually used a matte paper to matte that bottom photo. So I'm going to, instead of rubbing on underneath, I'm just going to rub onto the edges of that matte and just kind of make the matte look messy itself. It's kind of a cool look. I like the way that that turned out. It doesn't extend as far as the other side though, which is sort of a bummer. I should have accounted for that, but I did not. Gonna create a little cluster down here like I always do. I thought the arrows were appropriate, And then also this chipboard piece that says daily goals. And then I really, really wanted to use this, the best things in life aren't things, but it just would not incorporate very well. And I really needed to add something over the top of this that would, funnily enough, add a little bit more white space back in. And I also wanted to put where we went for a run. I'm actually going to do a larger spread, not in this album, about where we went for a run, because it's where I ran consistently every day that I was there. Because a few weeks ago, or probably a month ago now, I ran 11 miles at the Tennessee River. And then 3 weeks to the day later, I was running along the American River. And I really felt like that was sort of a great and interesting dichotomy of where my life has weirdly enough turned out. Like 5 years ago, I would never have believed that I was going to live in Tennessee at all. 5 years ago, I would never have believed that I would have lost 110 pounds. 5 years ago, I would never believe that I would be out running 11 miles. So that's going to be a whole spread unto itself. But because running along the American River was such a big deal for me, I wanted to make sure that I included that that's where we were too. So I'm going to add that to the photo details. Well, that was a really long-winded way to explain why I needed that tag. My goodness. Anyway, look for that layout coming soon. I actually have it all ready to go. I just can't bring myself quite to scrapbook it yet for some reason. I kind of have to be in the mood. I messed up that red geotag, which made me mad because I really wanted another pop of red. But oh well, I'm going to use the blue one instead. Then I decided I needed to add a matching tag because it was really, the whole spread was, or that whole side of the layout was really top heavy. So I'm going to add in a tag down here too, which sort of messed up my whole extending the map version or portion of this, but whatever. But I'm going to add in some titling and, of course, some decorative staples because I like to do that lately. But I'm going to add in some journaling on those tags about where we were and why we were there. This is generally done. You can see me thinking with my finger down there. Ah, yes, always. Enamel dots. But that is it for this video. If you loved, or if you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I would love to see you over there as well. And if you're interested in subscribing to Coco Daisy, there is a link in the description box below. All right, thank you.